Thank you, everyone. Hi, this is Trudy, everyone. Happy Thursday. We just had a spectacular call with both Dr. Sukhi and Rod, doing it in Mandarin translation. And, I was telling Rod just now how amazing that call was. It made me really pumped up and really ready to learn more about my brain and how it connects to my actions and how it's going to help me thrive in the upcoming year. Because, everyone knows 2020 has been, for some people, less than spectacular, but as Dr. Sukhi says, this is an opportunity for growth. I myself won't say much more, but without further ado, I'm going to welcome Rod, our CEO and co-founder, who's going to come on and tell you a little bit more about what's happening with Elysian and what we're working on and what you have to look forward to. And then he's going to bring on Dr. Sukhi for some other information that I think will be very exciting. So without further ado, Rod, welcome to the call.
Thank you very much, Trudy. Great to have everyone here on this call. I'm thrilled to be able to talk to you at my normal pace. As much as I love to share with the other groups, the translation is challenging, especially for Dr. Sukhi, because he uses so many technical words. So I feel bad for the translator. So I'm excited to share with you guys. Thank you again for taking the time out of your life to be with us today. We've got so many exciting things that are cooking. I don't even know where to start, but I will start with this. Welcome. I hope you all had an amazing Thanksgiving. For those of you that are on North America side, those of you joining us from other parts of the world, great to have you here. I hope you're safe. And we care about you. You're in our prayers all the time. And I think this new normal is something that we're being accustomed to, but we're going to make the best of. So a couple of things I want to talk to you about. 2020 has been a very interesting year. There is no doubt we've had to adapt to a different way of living, a different way of communicating, and for a lot of people, a different way of making money. It hasn't changed how we operate, but I think it's important to note that people have been kind of jarred by so many disruptions in their life that they've never experienced before, that now they're open to new ideas. Every single day I go out and I try to meet people. Every day, my goal when I meet people is to find their needs. And I will tell you, as leaders on this call, that every single time you have an opportunity to say hi to somebody that you maybe never met, when you look into their eyes, I guarantee you there's some part of their life they want to improve. And it may be a physical, maybe a wealth, it may be a relationship. It's something that they want to improve. And no matter who it is or what they may seem they have, some people you may meet, you might feel intimidated because you feel, they're already so successful. They're already so happy. They have the perfect life. There is no such thing. No matter who you are, how great you are, there's always areas to improve. And one of the most exciting things about our company, obviously, is, whatever area there is to improve, there is nothing more important, as Dr. Sukhi will allude to when we have him share some of his ideas, is improving our mind. Because at the end of the day, again, this controls every single action, which inevitably controls your entire life and dictates your quality of life from a physical and emotional standpoint. So whether you're happy is a decision that you make up here on your own. Whether you're sad, again, it's a decision. It's how you interpret any situation, and the lens that you put on yourself and how you view life is going to determine your quality of life. So why are we so excited about today? We're going to talk about the AOM. We're going to talk about our theme, which is breakthrough. We're going to talk about all the hard work that Dr. Sukhi is putting in to developing a curriculum for us in a program that's going to help people through this amazing time. And when we say amazing, it's amazing in a sense where it's an ability for all of us to break through. And that breakthrough will be lasting breakthroughs, because we're going to change a lot of the ways we think. We're going to improve different areas of our mind. In fact, we've been working on a Project X, which is a digital project that's going to enhance a lot of the stuff that we're going to be taught. And this is something that will be also unveiled at the AOM. But I want to encourage you guys to be excited about this event. It's going to be on November the 21st, Asia time, November 20th, Vancouver time. It's going to be live. We're going to have viewing sessions around the world. For those of you that, if it's safe to be able to join a small group of people so that you have that camaraderie that we miss so much. One of the things about the Academy of Masteries that we've had in the past, in my opinion, they've been highly successful because of two reasons. One, it's so great to be around all of you. The energy amongst the room is priceless. And I remember, Dr. Sukhi running down that pathway, that lit up pathway, that runway, when he was introduced on stage, and the way he lit up the room, and the way his ability to connect with everybody there. You were certainly a hit, deservingly so, and you made such a long-lasting impact on a lot of the affiliates in Taiwan. And we were so excited to have you back this year. Of course, due to the circumstances, we're not allowed to have that same size of event. But next year we will, hopefully. But this year it's going to be a little different, but we're going to make it just as impactful. And the reason why we're going to make it impactful is we're going to make everyone not only as close as possible, but the topics we're choosing are very relevant. And this is a year where people have really had the chance to reflect on how they can improve in every area of their life. So some of the things we're going to focus on is how to improve your memory, how to improve your memory retention, how you can learn faster, how you're able to maybe go to an event and meet 20 people and remember their names quickly. Things like that are skills that I think that just add on to the reason why we started this company. We talked about brain health. We talked about the clinical studies that we had for Mastermind, how it improve your working memory by 13%, and all those wonderful things. And we're going to have that nutrition side of it and reinforce that, but also add the technique side of it as well. So I'm going to use an analogy really quickly and talk quickly about when you're working out. And how many people here on this call have had at one point had a goal to be physically fit? Physically fit. I know Jeffrey is already physically fit. Very sexy with that sweater on. But hey, Lou, so nice to see your lovely smile. Thank you for joining us. So we've all had a goal of being physically fit. And then some of us, most of the time, we make these New Year's resolutions, right? Like, okay, starting January 1st, I'm going to eat well. I'm going to be fit. I want to have six-pack abs or whatever your goal may be. And then you might have a personal trainer. Now, everyone tells you the same thing, that if you have a personal trainer, there's two parts of being physically fit. One, you have to go to the gym and work out. And the other one is nutrition. But it's interesting to see that 70% of how you look and feel will be what you eat. 30% will actually be the exercise and time that you put into that physical thing. But they both come in hand. If you work out like crazy and you don't give your body the proper nutrients, you're not going to look good. You're not going to feel good either. In fact, it's going to be atrophy, right? Dr. Sukhi, you're just going to get small and your muscles start catabolizing and so on. On the flip side of it, if all you do is eat, well, but you don't exercise, again, you're not going to get the same results. The funny thing is, like I started this call with saying that everybody I come into contact with, even today was a really interesting day. I met some really unique people that are very successful, but when I look into their eyes, I know there's something they want to improve. Funny thing is, anytime I talk about what we do and how we have products that specifically help with brain function, that give the brain the nutrients it needs to perform at our best ability to optimize our brain and keep it young and keep it fluid and so forth and so on. 9 out of 10 people say, I need that, humbly so. And so when you're talking about making changes or lasting changes to your life, understand that the best way to do that is to perfect this thing. And to perfect this thing, that means it's a combination also of nutrients and training. And that training can come in a lot of forms. A lot of those forms which Dr. Sukhi is going to be talking about, sharing some of those things with you today, but more importantly, developing that program at the AOM this year, and finding and helping people breaking through. And those two things are essential. But when you talk to people that want to improve their life and you ask them, how are you going to improve that area of their life? They're very symptomatic with their process, which means they're actually going about it the wrong way. If you want to make lasting changes in your life, you've got to do this correctly. You've got to put the proper nutrients here. You've got to be able to exercise this and condition your mind. And we at Elysian, we're all about that. We're going to share with people at the AOM techniques on how we condition, how we train our brains, specific strategies on how we can develop better memory, but also be synergistic with the Mastermind product, which I'll let you share more about, Dr. Sukhi. But what I'm saying is we have the winning combination. And some of the things we may take for granted is I don't think there's any more complete business than the Elysian Sciences business. So with that, I want to have Dr. Sukhi share some things. And today we talked to him about being a guest speaker. I was laughing about that on the earlier call because he's not really a guest. He's family, of course, a very big part of Elysian. He's the CTO of the company, which, by the way, stands for Chief Transformational Officer. He has no technical skills whatsoever when it comes to computers. I'm kidding. He probably does because he's so smart. But he plays a more important function than a CTO. He is in charge of the substance behind the lasting changes beyond the nutritional supplements, which he has a lot of input on as well. It's the message, it's the methods of what we need to do to have that proper mindset to be successful. And if there's any compliment I can pay you, Dr. Sukhi, is not just your knowledge of the space. Of course, we're very blessed to have you as part of the Elysian family. But I think, to me, the biggest quality Dr. Sukhi has is how much he deeply cares about people and how much he invests in helping people transform their lives. So with that, I know you've got a few things to share, but before that, for the benefit of those of you on this call that haven't heard your story, Sukhi, if you don't mind just sharing a few minutes of, where you were before and where you are today, and then, talk about some of the stuff we're talking about with Breakthrough.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rod. Thank you for that. It's great to be here. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. For those of you who haven't heard me speak or read my book, really quickly, being raised on the other side of the tracks was an environment that was full of challenges. As a result of that, I sort of lost my health, my vitality, my well-being, if you will. And I hit rock bottom when I was 18. And it's really fascinating because 2020 has been such a unique and such a different year for all of us. And here's the deal in life. We don't value things until things are taken away from us. I realized by losing my health, my well-being, living with anxiety, depression, pain in my body, and being pretty much at the doorstep of losing my life, all of a sudden, when I was able to flick that switch, my health became my greatest value. I would say our avoids in life become our values. That is so powerful because if you ever speak to somebody, I've been a physician for 2 decades now. If you ever speak to someone who's had cancer, a terminal illness, and they've been able to overcome that, they will never look at their health in the same way again. Their health will be so high on their value and priority list. Here's the gift of 2020. I know it's been challenging. I know it's been a disruption. I know it's a different normal as it is right now. It's affected you personally. It's affected you professionally. For some of you, a little bit. For some of you, a lot. But here is the thing that I will take home, and here's the gift. Our health has the ability to shut down our entire world. Our health has the ability to forcibly, legally make us stay at home and not leave our house, not travel, not gather with loved ones, not be able to do the things we were able to do. I believe having the ability to have freedom and roam the parks and go for a walk is a new value that I think a lot of people won't take for granted as much anymore. But the reality is, our health ultimately determines our life. And a lot of people don't realize that until it's taken away. And the entire world, in some shape or some intensity, has now had a taste of that. And here's the thing. Within all the midst of challenges of 2020, there also lies a grand opportunity for you, a grand opportunity for you to serve yourself, for you to serve your family, your community, your people in ways that you never even imagined before. And this is what I'll have to say with you. When I hit rock bottom, I spent the next 11 years of my life in school, 3 different degrees studying neuroscience, cell biology. I wanted to understand how we heal and how we thrive. And ultimately comes completely down to the human brain and human nervous system. And one of the things that really jumped out for me in 2020 was that we have this amazing product. You know that product. It's called Mastermind. By far the best nutrition supplementation for our master control system, which is our brain and our nervous system. And this was a massive light bulb moment for me when I realized that we were giving people the best nutrition on the planet yet we weren't giving people the optimal training. And here's the analogy I use. You guys are familiar with, say, somebody like Lance Armstrong, okay? You give a couch potato performance enhancement drugs, you know, all the stuff, say, Lance took, whether it's steroids, growth hormone, all those things, and they're a couch potato. What are you going to see with that person after weeks and months? You're not going to see a lot of changes, even though you're giving them all these drugs to actually make them superhuman. You take a high level athlete that trains their body and physiology, you give them the performance enhancement drugs, and that person goes on to be the greatest cyclist the world's ever seen. Yeah, he was cheating, but case in point, the right nutrition combined with the right training, a person is able to make quantum leaps. Rod had mentioned, we're talking about learning, we're talking about memory. And although that is the effect of this, what I'm here to share with you, 5% of our brain is conscious. That's our perceptual system. That's a part you're aware of. 95% of your nervous system is what we call the autonomic nervous system. That's the part of you that after you have your beautiful dinner, enjoy the taste and the fruit of all that food, all of a sudden your body over the next several hours is going to digest that food. It's going to create ATP and energy. It's going to create waste product. It's going to release different hormones and chemicals. All of that is happening innately without your conscious awareness. So what if we could now take that small percentage, that 5% of our brain, and then open it up to activate another 1, 2, 3% of your autonomic nervous system? It completely changes the way your nervous system fires. We have these little structures called dendrites and axons, the way they wire. There's a principle in neuroscience that's called Hebb's law. It says neurological fibers that fire together wire together. And this is what I'm here to tell you in 2020. What I've seen throughout the entire world is I've seen people go to a place of fight or flight. That means they go to fear neurologically and biologically. Fight or flight, scientifically speaking, is a fascinating place because what your nervous system does, it turns off the synaptic connections right here. This is called your prefrontal cortex. That is the part of your brain that allows you to think and make rational decisions. When you're in fight or flight, that turns off. And when it turns off, we begin to make irrational decisions as if we're getting chased by a pack of wolves. The opportunity that we have as a company with Mastermind, with the journey that we're launching at the AOM, the training cultivates and nurtures those parts of your brain that actually turns off the fight or flight response, the part of you that releases adrenaline, cortisol, norepinephrine. It not only destroys our health, but our quality of life and our perception of reality. If all of a sudden we can begin to rewire, refire our brain and nervous system, create new synaptic connections, support it with the right nutrition and supplementation, which you know we have, all of a sudden we begin to upgrade our brain. We begin to see the world in new ways. We begin to think differently. We begin to transcend our older self. Essentially, we become a better and better version of ourselves. We become more potent, we become more powerful, and our lens begins to change because we start to release things like, unlike the epinephrine and cortisol, we release the opposite of that. We release dopamine. We release endorphins. We release oxytocin. And when you start to release those things, you start to see the possibilities in your life. You begin to look at the world with more love, more compassion. And the reason why I'm so excited about this is because, to me, I want to close the door on 2020 and I want to look ahead to 2021. I ultimately want you to make 2021 the best year of your entire life. And that's not a pie in the sky idea, because it all begins right here, what's between our ears. And when you combine the best nutrition and supplementation with some of the most progressive and innovative way of utilizing your brain to cultivate those new connections. That's ultimately where I say we begin to become superhuman. And I'll tell you right now, what the world needs, what our communities need, what our cities, our countries ultimately need, we need people to step up and find new innovative ways to serve each other. Because I believe humanity as a whole, we have to begin to come together more and more and more as we move forward. So when we're challenged in situations as we do, we have to address problems in new ways, more efficient ways, in ways that serve the greater whole. So for me, I'm excited about the AOM because that is going to be the release when we're starting to talk about what these trainings are, how you can implement them in your life, and more importantly, begin the journey of that as we move into 2021, as we see the world begin to open up again. So I'm super excited. I hope you're excited. And I'm super excited about Rod's talking about hosting parties and having friends to come over. I'm telling you right now, I believe this is going to be our greatest AOM. So if you've ever had anybody in your life that you've thought about bringing, hearing these messages, this is what people ultimately need. Right now, what people need, my friends, is hope. And here's what hope is. Hope is knowing that your future is going to be better than your present moment. And that's what this is about. Hope is knowing that you have the resources. We're going to talk about those resources. And right now, the world, we need a lot more hope. So Rod, thanks for having me, and thanks for listening, and thanks for being here. And I can't wait to see you all in November.
Oh, thanks for sharing, Dr. Sukhi. Really appreciate it. We love your insights. We've got golf claps from all over the place right now. I want to touch on a few things that you talked about. And I think it's important for us to realize, in the past AOMs, I was just thrilled to be there. The environment, the love, the connection, the camaraderie, the sense of belonging, all of those things invoke emotions that really draw us to do more, because motivation is a big part of what we do, right? And everybody on this call, there's something that's motivating you to be on this call. There's something that's motivating you to improve your life, or to want to do things for other people, the satisfaction of helping others, whatever that is. Motivation will always be a key. And undoubtedly, that's something that we will have at the AOM. Lots of motivation. And I think it's important for us to crystallize and identify with what is really going to drive you to make those long-lasting decisions and stay consistent in that journey. The other thing that we're going to focus on, more so than other AOMs, is the method. Because the method is also very important. Our goal at this AOM is to give you clear, precise strategies and methods in how you can make everlasting changes on your mind, the way you learn and the way you retain things, and just a different way of looking at life. And so when you combine those type of methods with that motivation, I think a lot of people are going to come out of that AOM equipped very differently. Not only are they going to be excited to make those changes, not only will they have a clear plan on how to execute those changes, but they'll also have the techniques. And it's going to be the beginning of a journey, because this is something that we're going to teach that's going to make long-lasting effects. That will be a journey. Our goal is to help everyone have incredible minds, right? Minds that we can control, minds that we can dictate, minds that we can make sure that we see the world in a way that we want to see it, that we attract the things that we want to see, that we take those negative thoughts away. And it's really that self-mastery that everyone is in pursuit for. But in order to have that self-mastery and to have all of these amazing superpowers, as we like to call it, that do exist, by the way, there's got to be a combination of those things. And I believe unequivocally that we have all those ingredients. We have the nutrition that everybody talks about that people lack. We will have the techniques that we're going to share with you. And we're working on some special projects that we're going to be announcing at the AOM, something that's bigger than anything we've ever done before, that's collaborating with some of the most cutting edge companies in the world. And that's something that we're going to be unveiling at the AOM to share what we're creating there. So this is going to be an awesome event. If you're brand new to this event, I know for sure that the people will come out of there very excited, not only to be able to see what we offer, but to see the potential of who they can become through this. So it's 5 weeks away, I think. Is that it's coming up so close. I just encourage you every single day for you guys to reach out and get as many people there as you can, because I know the type of effort that the team is putting in, but I also think there's no better time for people to be a part of this. And like I said, every day my goal is to reach out and find and look into people's eyes and really find out what areas of their life do they want to improve. And I think because this world has been shaken up so hard and life as we know it has been disrupted so much, that the people that were all set in their ways, the people that were creatures of habit, I've finally realized, like, I got to start looking. I got to start opening my mind. I'm not where I want to be, or I'm tired of being a victim. So challenge people around you, people that you meet. What's your goals for next year? Where do you see this pandemic leading us to? How's your new normal? What's it like not traveling? Has it affected you financially? What areas of your life have you been able to improve because you've had to stay home more? What areas of your life would you like to focus on? If you could have a clean slate and money was not an issue and you had tremendous amounts of passive income coming in, what would you want to do with your time given the limited restrictions that we've had? All of these questions you have to ask people. And it's really easy to quickly find out that there's always going to be something that they want to improve. And that's something, and those answers actually will be covered at our AOM. So start talking about the event. Just say, look, there's an opportunity coming up on November 20th for those of you in Vancouver or on the West Coast, November 21st for those of you in Asia. Just say, there's got to be a very special event called Academy of Mastery, where they're really focusing on breaking through from a mental aspect, where they have the most cutting edge technologies from the technical side of things and also from the nutritional side of things, where they have a collective amount of speakers that are very focused on helping all of us make lasting changes in our life so we could have that competitive edge, so we can be as superheroes in our own sense, and more importantly, have that breakthrough. So this is an opportunity. I'm thrilled. I know how hard Dr. Sukhi has been working not only on the agenda, curating the program, but working with other people to put this thing together. I don't think we ever spent this much time together on Zoom, Sukhi, with technology teams and program and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. So let's do whatever we need to do. Let's share this vision. I think, Trudy, maybe you can speak on when registration is, because people are going to be anxious on how they can reserve that spot, and make sure that we have the technical capacity to be able to handle the people that are going to be calling in through these means. And also we're going to obviously start to organize certain areas where people can be a part of a small group setting. That's where it is safe and it's allowed, so that we still have that, those viewing parties as that sense of community. So with that, guys, that's all we had for today. We're just, again, well, thank you for being a part of this, but I'll tell you that, learning better, learning faster, being connected, all these breakthrough things. I got a text today that I'd love to show you guys. I mean, I get these almost every day. And when I talk about our product, I talk about it so passionately because I know the type of impact it can make. So I met somebody today who's very successful, works with a lot of professional athletes. And, it's funny because I just talked about life and how vibrant and how fun life is, and how I'm always on the pursuit to be better, and I love to win, and it's always a journey. And I love surrounding myself around people that are like that to keep me on the edge, and just it gets contagious. And then they obviously start to ask what you do. And I tell them, depending on who they are, I have different answers. But, I could be cut to the point with this guy. I just said, no, I'm in the nootropic space. They're like, nootropics? Is, yeah. And we have and produce the very best brain supplementation to help us perform at peak state. And I left it at that. And then he asked for my number. I gave him my number. I didn't ask for his. And then I sent him our website. And he texted me back. All he said was, if you can read that. It just says, dude, I need this stuff. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. I didn't tell him it was mastermind. I didn't tell him the incredible ingredients. He just knows that I'm excited about life. And whatever I'm on, whatever I'm taking, he wants. But when he studied it, and this is a very prominent business person that works with the highest level of athletes. It's a common thing, and that's today. And I can show you the other day who I had dinner with, I met with, which is a current professional athlete that plays for the NHL, that can't wait to eat or take our stuff. They're so enamored by the fact that there's so little people in the brain space, and finally people are coming together. Dr. Sukhi, you and I had a conversation with the type of awareness that people are having now on how important it is for this mental health. You know, anybody here watch the NBA? I'm a big NBA fan. I watched that whole entire thing. Los Angeles Lakers is my team. 90 days they spent in a bubble in Orlando. You know the type of stress it takes on your brain to be able to handle that type of situation where you're quarantined, where you can't see your family, where you can't leave a certain area, and you have a very regimented process. All of that takes a toll on people. So if you have tools in place, strategies in place, and most importantly, nutrition in place to keep this healthy, it's a massive advantage. So again, everybody needs to it will be touched by what we have. I'm just excited that we are in the right place at the right time. There's no better time for us to flourish and thrive than this. So we're excited about breaking through. We're excited about helping not only all of you, but the people you bring on break through. And let's make this the most successful and most highly attended AOM ever. All right, Trudy, I'll turn it back to you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Rod.
Thank you.
Everyone. So, here's the poster. Here's some tentative speakers for all of you. We'll be adding more speakers to this list, but like Rod said, like Dr. Sukhi says, there's going to be some big announcements this year. So remember to share this with your friends, your family. This is an opportunity really to grow your business, because after they hear what Dr. Sukhi or Rod or Apollo or Dr. Ken has to say, I'm sure they're going to ask you if they can be a part of this mission. So definitely don't miss this opportunity. And like Rod says, you never know who you're going to help by simply sharing a link. So if you guys want to register for this, visit elysianevents.com. You can register there. If you have any other questions, please give our support line a call. Other than that, thank you so much, everyone, for giving up your Thursday evening to us. We look forward to speaking with you again very soon. We'll see you all at the AOM. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
See you.
Bye.